The rising tensions between the world's two most powerful countries, the United States and China, after several military close calls. In the most recent incident, U.S. Indo-Pacific Command says a Chinese warship came within 150 yards of an American destroyer above the Taiwan Strait.
美方声称要经营中国，但不寻求冲突。实际上，美方所谓的竞争，就是全方位的遏制。 打压就是你死我活的零和博弈。如果美方不踩刹车，继续沿着错误的道路狂飙下去，再多的护栏也挡不住脱轨翻车，陷入对抗冲突。
Hey everyone! Welcome back to Military Watch News. Today we're delving into a topic that's making waves across the globe. The recent high-stakes meeting between the leaders of the USA and China. It's not your typical diplomatic rendezvous. It's more like a geopolitical thriller. So buckle up, because we're about to unravel the complexities of this diplomatic drama.
War with China would produce destruction on a scale unseen by the United States since 1945. China continues to strengthen its military and maintains the right to use force against Taiwan. U.S. officials warned that a Chinese invasion is a real possibility and implied that the U.S. would become involved in such a conflict. Although conflict is not inevitable, it is not impossible.
The recent 4-hour meeting between the leaders of the USA and China in San Francisco might sound like a scene from a political soap opera. Picture this: a promise to answer the phone in a crisis, the restoration of a military hotline, and the ongoing saga of Taiwan, the island, which sees itself as a democratic nation, is at the heart of the most explosive conflict between these two global giants.
1949 was a significant year for U.S.-China relations. October of that year marked the founding of the People's Republic of China, ending civil war between the Chinese Communist Party and the Nationalist Party, with the latter retreating to Taiwan. But just a few years before, the U.S. and China's Nationalist Party had a relationship, even amid tension between the Nationalist and Communist Party.
This 4-hour tete-a-tete didn't yield significant results, but it did secure a commitment to ongoing dialogue. Sure, I promise to answer the phone if there's a crisis. They reassured each other. The re-establishment of a hotline between the military leaders of the two superpowers is particularly noteworthy, given its hiatus after the visit of Nancy Pelosi to Taiwan, a move that angered Chinese leaders. Now, let's talk Taiwan. China insists it's an integral part of the Middle Kingdom, but Taiwan begs to differ. With the upcoming presidential elections in Taiwan, there are growing concerns in Beijing about the potential discussion of Taiwan's independence. President Biden, in a show of solidarity, has promised military aid 4 times if China decides to make a move.
But the United States is committed. We've made a commitment. We support the one China policy. We support all that we've done in the past. But that does not mean that China has the ability, the jurisdiction to go in and use force to take over Taiwan.
The White House warning China against, quote, growing aggressiveness by its military. After this, you're looking here on your screen, this is a near collision between an American and a Chinese warships, and this actually occurred in the Chinese Strait. Think about the Taiwan Strait. I mean, look at how close they are.
This tension, my friends, is the real powder keg in the region. Taiwan, de facto independent but unrecognized by most countries, is a democratic stronghold resisting assimilation into the communist rule advocated by China. The island's population identifies strongly as Taiwanese, and any attempt by China to forcefully annex it is met with staunch opposition. It's not just Taiwan causing waves. China's increasing military activities in disputed territories have neighboring nations on edge. The South China Sea and the East China Sea have become hotspots of contention. The Philippines, Vietnam, and even Japan have raised their voices against China's assertiveness, and the fear of a third world war looms large.
I want to be clear. I want to be very clear. The United States defense commitment to the Philippines is ironclad. The United States defense agreement to the Philippines is ironclad.
China's attempts to control these vital waterways have led to international condemnation, with neighboring countries and the United States expressing concern over the militarization of these regions. The risk of accidental clashes escalating into a larger conflict is a cause for global unease. In this diplomatic dance, each leader had their requests. Xi Jinping sought high-tech microchips, a crucial commodity facing export restrictions from the USA. Meanwhile, President Biden wanted China to halt the illegal export of the potent drug, fentanyl, to the USA. The clash of interests reflects the battle for dominance in technology and the fight against transnational threats. China's pursuit of high-tech microchips is emblematic of its ambitions to reduce dependence on foreign technology. However, the USA, citing national security concerns, has imposed restrictions on the export of these critical components. On the flip side, the opioid crisis in the USA has prompted a stern request from Biden to curb the illicit export of fentanyl, a powerful narcotic responsible for a significant number of overdose deaths. Xi Jinping emphasizes that the world is vast enough for both superpowers, but make no mistake, this isn't a friendly coexistence.
Meeting outside San Francisco, President Biden was hoping for an agreement to crack down on fentanyl and, central to his agenda, reestablishing military-to-military communication. China cut off those channels last year after Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan.
Both the USA and China are vying for the top spot, economically and militarily. However, recent economic challenges in China have prompted Xi to court American investors, but the results have been less than stellar. China's economic growth, once seen as unstoppable, has hit a stumbling block, raising concerns about the sustainability of its rise. Xi Jinping's engagement with American businessmen and investors after the meeting with Biden reflects a strategic move to attract more investment. However, skepticism persists, fueled by China's recent interventions against foreign companies and its use of arbitrary detentions for strategic leverage. Now, the million-dollar question: is Xi Jinping a dictator? President Biden has referred to him as such, citing the one-party rule in China.
Mr. President, after today, would you still refer to President Xi as a dictator? This is a term that you used earlier this year.
Well, look, he is. I mean, he's a dictator in the sense that he is a guy who runs a country that is a communist country that's based on a form of government totally different than ours.
This characterization has, unsurprisingly, angered Chinese authorities. It's a diplomatic dance where words matter as much as actions. Xi Jinping's leadership, not just as the president, but also as the enigmatic figure at the helm of the Chinese Communist Party, raises questions about the nature of governance in China. Biden's acknowledgement of Xi as a dictator has ignited a war of words, showcasing the underlying tension in their diplomatic relationship. And there you have it, the recent showdown between the USA and China. Tensions are high, stakes are higher, and the global balance of power hangs in the balance. What are your thoughts on this geopolitical drama? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Military Watch News, and hit that notification bell for more updates on the world's hottest topics. Until next time, stay informed.